It's signing day 2017, and today, head coach Matt Rule has signed 27 members to his inaugural signing class as head coach at Baylor University. A great day for this Baylor football program and for the university. Over the next hour, we'll meet that signing class. We'll hear from Coach Rule and more. Great start to the day for the Bears, and we welcome you to the Baylor Football Signing Day Special, presented by Southwest Sports Medicine on Fox Sports. Today, the Bears signed 27 newcomers to the program. As we said, a very balanced class, and over the course of the next hour, like I said, we're going to meet some of these players live here from the Beecham Athletic Nutrition Center, a.k.a. the bank, overlooking the Brazos River and McLean Stadium here at Baylor University.
Now, our new head coach, Matt Rule, was only hired in December 6th, so him and his whole staff have only had 2 months to pull together this entire recruiting class, and man, have they just done an incredible job. It's a very diverse class, very wide set of abilities, and just a really balanced class overall.
Early returns have this ranked as about a top 40 class in the nation by a number of recruiting sites, top 2 or 3 in the Big 12, and that's very impressive to bring in a haul like that in just 2 months, as you said, Jacqueline. And you look at what they've brought in, 27 players, 14 on defense, 13 on offense. It all starts up front with the lines. We'll meet these players. We have 7 on the defensive line, 6 on the offensive line. You can look at position breakdown. You can also look at where they came from. 5 states represented in this recruiting class, most of them from the state of Texas, a few from New Jersey. Of course, that's Coach Rule's old stomping grounds out there in Philadelphia, just across the river at Temple University from the state of New Jersey. Also, Alabama, Arkansas, and Louisiana represented. We'll hear from Coach Rule about 40 minutes from now. We'll also hear from Baylor defensive coordinator Phil Snow, co-offensive coordinators Jeff Nixon and Matt Lubick.
Now, before we dive into the Baylor National Signing Day Special, we're going to take a quick break, and then after that, we're going to hear from our very own voice of the Bears, John Morris, talking to defensive coordinator Phil Snow.
Now with Baylor's new defensive coordinator, Phil Snow. Coach, welcome to Waco. Welcome to Baylor. Signing day is here. You guys put in a lot of work in a short amount of time, but it seems like it's been very successful.
Yeah, I think we hit the ground running, and Coach Rule was here the whole time in December and got a good list together, and we went after the guys that we got.
Very good. Glad you're here. You actually coached, or Coach Rule coached under you as a GA way back at UCLA.
Yeah, he was getting my coffee in 2001, and now I'm getting his. So it's funny how this job works.
Yeah, and you have you've been around to a lot of places this year. 8th school plus some time in the NFL with the Lions. That's a lot of knowledge, a wealth of knowledge in 34 years of coaching.
Yeah, actually I just finished 40th. With high school, junior college, and so it's been a great ride, and I'm really looking forward to our stay here in Baylor.
What do you think coming into the Big 12 conference? Have you heard the stories, seen the stats of the high-flying offenses here?
Yeah, we have. So, we're looking forward to seeing what we can do against them, and it'll be fun.
In a nutshell, what's most important to you defensively? What do you want to do here?
Well, defense, football is still blocking and tackling, so it's how hard we play and we tackle. If we play hard and tackle, then we'll be pretty good on defense. So those are still the key ingredients. And you can't give up big plays, and you got to create turnovers. So we do those things, we'll be successful.
You did that really well at Temple, led the league, the AAC, in total defense or in defense the last couple of years. 3rd in the nation in total defense last year. That's impressive.
Yeah, the last 3 years there, we were 14th, 19th, and 3rd in the country in total defense. So here, and it works in the Big 12.
Very good. The staff, you guys, everybody is here sort of coming from different directions, but you all have connections, don't you? It seems like everything's melding very well.
Yeah, they have. And, we brought our whole defensive staff, so I'm excited about that. And then we actually got a quality control guy that was with us as a GA that came from Tennessee Tech. We brought a GA. So defensively, we're not going to miss a beat.
Very good. Spring practice right around the corner.
Yeah, we're trying to put it off as far as we can so we can get ready for it. But, really looking forward to that.
Great. Coach, appreciate the visit. Good to have you here.
Thank you, John.
All right, with Phil Snow, Baylor's defensive coordinator, I'm John Morris.
Thank you very much, John. That is the voice of the Bears, John Morris, with defensive coordinator Phil Snow. As Matt Rhule's defensive coordinator at Temple last year, he led the third-ranked defense nationally, looking to do the same here at Baylor University. We're going to take a break here on the Baylor Football Signing Day special on Fox Sports, coming to you live from the bank, the Beecham Athletic Nutrition Center. When we come back, we will start to meet the recruits. We'll start with the defense after this. 14 defensive players joining Sikkim Squad 17 after this. Baylor football on Fox Sports. Hello and welcome back live from the Beecham Athletic Nutrition Center on the campus of Baylor University overlooking McLean Stadium. It's the Baylor Football Signing Day special here on Fox Sports. Alongside Jacqueline Keller, I am Derek Smith, and it's been a great morning as Matt Rhule and his coaching staff have brought in the inaugural class of their time here at Baylor. We've seen the excitement building the last couple of months since Coach Rhule was hired. If you follow Baylor football on Twitter at BU Football, you've seen the excitement. Every time a commitment came in, the entire coaching staff would tweet about it with the hashtag BaylorLit. The players have got in on the excitement with hashtag Sikkim Squad 17. There's been a lot of excitement that's built. You see a lot of buy-in to what Coach Rhule has done here at Baylor, the mission and the staff he's trying to build here, his vision for this football program. Guys have bought in. We've been talking a lot about the inaugural football class, Jacqueline.
Absolutely. And now we're going to get to take a look at the defensive side of this year's recruiting class, and we're going to get to see what Coach Rhule and his staff brought here for us. Let's take a look.
DeMarco Artis, defensive end, Seminole High School, Sanford, Florida.
All right, this was a big one. He announced yesterday. Baylor Nation was waiting to see if he would come. DeMarco Artis is indeed coming to Baylor. A 6'2", 220-pound defensive lineman from the state of Florida. Two-time All-State defensive lineman from Seminole High School in Sanford, Florida. He's rated the nation's 44th best defensive end prospect by ESPN. Two-time All-State performer, as we mentioned. He is considered by Coach Rhule to be a relentless, high-effort pass rushing specialist. Of course, in the Big 12, it all starts with that pass rush. Can you disrupt the high-octane passing offenses in the Big 12? He's going to be a big part of that. Coach Rhule calls him an elite, tenacious, and says he has a dominant first step that'll make him a force at the rush position, but also versatile enough to drop back into coverage. DeMarco Artis.
Justin Harris, defensive end, Lutcher, Louisiana, East Ascension High School.
Our next recruit came to us just this afternoon, a national top 3 100 recruit from East Ascension High School in Gonzales, Louisiana. Justin Harris ranks among the top 50 defensive end and the top 10 Louisiana prospects. He totaled 62 tackles, 15 sacks, 1 touchdown, 3 breakups, 4 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries as a senior, with only his second full season playing football. He's got the arm length and the size to allow him to be a force in stopping the run. Justin Harris, defensive line.
James Lynch, defensive line, Round Rock High School, Round Rock, Texas.
6'4", 285 pounds of force in the middle. James Lynch from Round Rock High School, ranked the 31st defensive tackle prospect in the nation. Top 50, in fact, by a number of the recruiting websites. He was a 2016 Subway Super Team member from legendary Dave Campbell's Texas football program. Last year, you can see the stats indicate just how disruptive he was on the line. 46 tackles, including 14 of them for loss. He had 8 sacks, 3 pass breakups, 3 fumble recoveries, and a forced fumble. Very disruptive in the interior of that Round Rock High School defensive line. In fact, that's what Coach Rhule says about him. He's a defensive force, an elite pass rusher, and an elite athlete for his size. You want that size there in the middle. He's got it. 6'4", 285 pounds, James Lynch.
Cole Maxwell.
All right, next we'll take a look at Cole Maxwell, 6'5", 245 pounds from Allen, Texas, an all-state defensive lineman. He totaled 87 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, 6 quarterback pressures, 5 pass breakups, and 3 forced fumbles as a senior. He was also star pitcher and first baseman on his high school baseball team, throwing 92 miles an hour and batting cleanup. Cole Maxwell, defensive line.
Chidi Obadiah, defensive line, Langham Creek, Houston, Texas.
Chidi Ogbenaya, 6'5", 260 pounds. You can see that theme of size here on the defensive line. Some tall recruits. Chidi Ogbenaya, one of them. A top 100 defensive end prospects by a number of recruiting services. Last year at Houston's Langham Creek High School, 26 tackles, 8 of them for loss, a pair of sacks, 6 quarterback hurries, and 1 fumble recovery as a senior. Coach Rule says he has high upside, a unique ability to stay low. Very important on the defensive line. Coach Rule expects him to be a big force in the run game as well. Chidi Ogbenaya.
Rob Solon, defensive end, Pennsville, New Jersey, Pennsville High School.
All right, next let's take a look at Rob Solon, 6'5", 250-pound, 3-time All-League star on both sides of the ball from Pennsville Memorial High School, New Jersey. A 4-year, 2-way starter under his head coach. He totaled 84 tackles, 2 sacks on defense, caught 20 passes for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns, added 2 rushing scores on offense. He started on varsity as a freshman in 2013, also stand out on his high school basketball team. He's a nimble, big, hardworking athlete, says Coach Matt Rule. Rob Solon, defensive line.
B.J. Thompson, defensive end, England High School, England, Arkansas.
This was a nice surprise for Baylor fans early this morning when B.J. Thompson, a freakishly athletic 6'6", 225-pound defensive lineman and tight end, made the commitment to Baylor University. He made fans wait, but it was a wait that paid off for the Bears as he chose to come join Sikkim Squad 17. Freakishly athletic and explosive leaping ability. He's ranked the nation's 17th best athletic prospect by 247 Sports. He's a top 5 prospect in the state of Arkansas, and he can do it on both sides of the ball. Last year, 16.5 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, and 2 interceptions, along with 2 pass breakups along the defensive line. He also caught 37 passes for 601 yards and 10 touchdowns. He's 6'6", 220. Going to try to put a little meat on the bones. But as you see that leaping ability there in the end zone, he has a great opportunity for the Bears to do things on both sides of the ball. B.J. Thompson.
Terrell Bernard, linebacker, LaPorte High School, LaPorte, Texas.
And now taking a look at some of our impressive linebackers. Terrell Bernard, 6'1", 215 pounds, an all-state linebacker from LaPorte High School, rated the nation's 46th best outside linebacker prospects in ESPN. 3-time first-team All-District honoree at LPHS. He totaled 201 tackles, 12 for loss, 5 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles as a senior. Coach Rule says he's a tough, instinctive linebacker with the intelligence to compete in the Bears system early, so we might be seeing a lot from him soon. Terrell Bernard.
Bryson Jackson, outside linebacker, Lake Ridge High School, Mansfield, Texas.
Bryson Jackson, 6'2", 205-pound linebacker from Mansfield Lake Ridge High School, ranked the nation's 60th best linebacker prospect from Rivals. Great senior season last year for Mansfield, 83 tackles, 7 sacks, 13 quarterback hurries, a fumble recovery. A versatile athlete. He also played for the track and field team at Lake Ridge. Coach Rule said he's tremendously intelligent and versatile, can play multiple defensive positions. Bryson Jackson.
Ashton Logan, linebacker, Temple High School, Temple.
Ashton Logan, 6'2", 220 pounds from Temple, Texas. He was a 3-year varsity starter, which is quite a challenge at his high school. He totaled 94 tackles, 4 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, and 1 quarterback hurry as a senior. He moved to safety as a sophomore and started every game since for 13-2 Temple that finished state runner-up. He also played basketball, played quarterback, and wide receiver. Ashton is a physical safety who will be developed into an outside linebacker prospect. Ashton Logan.
Tamarcus Davis, defensive back, College Station High School, College Station.
Now to the defensive backfield. Our first DB, it's Tamarcus Davis. Tamarcus Davis, a very intriguing prospect. He missed his entire senior season with a torn ACL, but what he did earlier in his career was impressive enough to make him one of the early signees, early commitments, I should say, for Coach Matt Rule here. In fact, Francis Brown, one of Coach Rule's assistant coaches, said that Tamarcus Davis had the best junior tape he'd ever seen in coaching. And you look at the numbers his junior year, they really stand out. 7 interceptions, 18 pass breakups, 79 tackles at College Station High School. Tamarcus Davis.
Harrison Hand, cornerback, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and Cherry Hill West High School.
All right, let's take a look at Harrison Hand, an all-state 2A player from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 6'0", 190 pounds. He was rated the #1 cornerback prospect in New Jersey, a 3-year starter on varsity at Cherry Hill West. His technique and development are well beyond what most athletes have at his position, says Coach Matt Rule. Harrison Hand.
Trayvon Lewis, free safety, Houston Lamar, Houston, Texas.
All right, our next two players will be remembered as firsts. Trayvon Lewis, the first commitment of the Matt Rule era here at Baylor, the first player to say, yes, I want to play for you, Coach Rule, here at Baylor University. A 6-foot safety out of Houston Lamar High School, named the 2016 Houston Defensive Player of the Year by the Touchdown Club of Houston. A top 60 prospect at safety last year, 92 tackles, an interception, 4 pass breakups, and a fumble recovery. And natural leadership ability was another thing that attracted head coach Matt Rule to Trayvon Lewis.
Jalen Petrie, safety, Stafford High School, Stafford, Texas.
All right, our next recruit, Jalen Petrie, is also a special one. He was the only recruit to remain in our first one of the 2017 recruiting class. He's an all-district defensive back from Stafford, Texas, 6 foot, 200 pounds, named 216 district defensive MVP for his district. Junior season was cut short for an injury at his Stafford squad, but he is hoping to come back. He's the anchor of his class, and he stayed with this program through it all. Jalen Petrie.
And Jalen is going to be someone that Baylor fans remember for his loyalty to the program, the same loyalty that Baylor showed him when he was injured last year and they said he would keep his scholarship. So there's our defensive players, all 14 of them. In a little bit, we'll meet the offensive players. But first, we'll take a break. And when we come back, the voice of the Bears, John Morris, will visit with co-offensive coordinators Matt Lubick and Jeff Nixon after this on Fox Sports.
John Morris back with Baylor's co-offensive coordinators. Meet Matt Lubick, Colorado State grad. Jeff Nixon is here, Penn State grad. And good to have you guys here. Matt, you guys didn't have time to come in nice, easy, find your way around Waco. I mean, you hit the ground running recruiting-wise as soon as you got here.
We did, but it was fun. As soon as we got here, everyone welcomed us with open arms. And they gave us a pretty good schedule to follow as far as they did a great job when Coach Rule got hired, identifying guys that we thought we had a chance at and guys that could help our team and put us on those guys, so it made our job easy.
Good. Jeff, what's that like to come in? I mean, normally you recruit all during the season, even, before the season starts. This one, you come in and you don't have a list, you don't have anything to start from. What's that like?
It was exciting. For me, this first time I actually recruited in 10 years. I've been in the NFL, but it's been a great experience. Coming to the great state of Texas, where it's great high school football, and like Matt said, we hit the ground running right away. Our guys were in here evaluating film, and really had a good list for us, and we were able to just go out and take off and go out and recruit the best players for Baylor University.
Great. So for you, it's kind of a double whammy. I mean, you hadn't recruited, being in the pros in the NFL, then you're back to college and at a new school. What's it like coming back to college?
It was a whirlwind the first week or so, getting back into the recruiting swing. But it's been great, just with all the great offensive coaches we have on our staff, and to be back with Coach Rule, who is my college roommate and high school teammate. It's been awesome.
Wow, it goes back to high school days.
Yes, sir.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
That's great. Matt, the name Lubick, people are watching saying, I know that name, Matt Lubick. Of course, your dad, longtime legendary Hall of Fame coach from Colorado State.
Yeah, I appreciate people remembering him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he coached for a long time. I grew up in a coaching family, and he's been my biggest supporter, and he's my best friend. So he's made this thing fun for me.
Good. You're coming sort of from the West Coast, from University of Oregon here to Baylor. What are your initial thoughts as you think about moving into the Big 12 conference?
Well, very impressed. When I was at Oregon, we actually studied Baylor and some of the great things they did, and we stole some things from them. And Baylor's done a great job here in the past, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And so it's neat to come into a place where they've had success, and there's high expectations to continue that success, and that's what you want as a coach.
Good. You guys, the signees today, looks like playmakers, looks like great athletes. Jeff, what's it like recruiting to Baylor from right here in the heart of Texas?
I tell you what, there's so much talent here, in the state of Texas, and we did a great job, I think, of recruiting, the Dallas area, the Houston area, East Texas. You really don't have to go far to find good players, to fill out your football team.
Good. Final question, Matt, signing day is here, and I'm sure you guys get a little break. Do you get a little break, or do you go right into preparing for spring?
Coach Rule's been gracious enough to give us a little break.
Good,
so I
good.
think we have Thursday and Friday off, and I know guys, because we hit the ground running, just tying up loose ends. Like, I got to go back and get my stuff and prepare for the big move, which I'm excited about.
Very good. Well, good to have you guys here. Congratulations on a great class. Thanks very much. With Matt Lubick and Jeff Nixon, I'm John Morris.
Offensive coordinators Matt Lubick and Jeff Nixon will meet their incoming offensive players after this here on Fox Sports.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Baylor Signing Day special. We just heard from co-offensive coordinators Jeff Nixon and Matt Lubick, and now we're going to get to take a look at who they're going to be working with, our next offensive signees. So let's take a look.
Charlie Brewer, quarterback, Austin, Lake Travis.
The first of our 13 offensive signees and the lone quarterback in the class, Charlie Brewer. He is a good one, a state champion in 2016. He set the national single-season completion record, 77.4%. Numbers just really leap off the page throughout his career, 107 touchdowns against just 11 interceptions. He comes from a family of quarterback, good bloodlines, and the pedigree at Lake Travis High School, playing in state championship games. He has that big game experience. Charlie Brewer from Lake Travis.
Jonathan Lovett, Marlton, New Jersey, running back, Cherokee High School.
We've got another athlete from the East Coast, Jonathan Lovett, all-state athlete from Cherokee High School in Burlington, New Jersey. Two-way star, #1 ranked athlete prospect in New Jersey. 1,300 yards and 24 touchdowns on 178 carries as a senior. He's an all-purpose running back, big, physical, and fast. It'll allow him to catch balls out of the backfield, and he has tremendous growth potential. Jonathan Lovett.
Abram Smith, running back, Abilene High, Abilene, Texas.
Second running back in Sikkim Squad 17, signing class, Abram Smith, a home run hitter who has the potential to be an all-purpose downhill runner, according to head coach Matt Rule. He was the nation's 29th best running back prospect, according to Scout, and the all-time leading rusher in Abilene High School history. Numbers senior year particularly impressive, 1,939 yards on 237 carries, 34 touchdowns. He can catch the ball out of the backfield and is a good kick return specialist as well. He actually got off to a great start in his high school career, scoring touchdowns on his first 2 carries as a freshman. Abram Smith.
Tristan Ebner, receiver, Henderson High School in Henderson, Texas.
And now taking a look at some of our receivers, we have Tristan Ebner, a national top 300 recruit, an all-purpose star. He can do anything and everything. He's a lifelong Baylor fan who's two-way, and in high school he played receiver, quarterback, linebacker, and defensive back. He totaled 57 receptions for 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns offensively, had 69 tackles, 10 for loss, and 5 sacks. Defensively, he was named, he also starred in basketball. Tristan Ebner.
Tyler Henderson, tight end, Lehman High School, Kyle, Texas.
Another versatile player, receiver. This one a tight end, Tyler Henderson, one of 2 potential tight ends in the class, the other being B.J. Thompson, who we met as a defensive lineman during our last segment. But Tyler Henderson ranked the nation's 32nd best tight end by ESPN, caught 20 passes for 185 yards last year. He was also a Wildcat quarterback as a senior, a versatile athlete, 77 carries, 482 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He's someone with his size, 6 feet 4 inches, 240 pounds. Coach Rule said he can develop into a tight end who can really do everything for you all over the field, catch, run, block. Tight end, such a weapon in college offenses these days. Tyler Henderson.
Gavin Holmes, wide receiver, Northwest High School, Fort Worth, Texas.
Next up, we've got Gavin Holmes, a wide receiver, 5'11", 195 pounds from Justin, Texas. He was a top 100 Texas recruit, a very fast wide receiver with a mature mindset and aggressive mentality. He amassed over 2,700 yards from scrimmage and totaled 27 touchdowns in 3 varsity seasons. Gavin Holmes.
RJ Sneed, wide receiver, Cypress Ranch High School, Cypress.
An ESPN 300 recruit from Cypress Ranch High School, R.J. Sneed, 6'2", 185 pounds, number 225 prospect in the nation according to Prep Star, 194 on ESPN. Coming off of a senior season that saw him amass 700 yards on 40 receptions, 8 touchdowns, a real threat in the red zone and downfield as well. He's a guy who can get past a DB for a big home run play, or as we're seeing here, make a short catch in the red zone where it's so important to convert. We see him make the touchdown catch here. Downfield or in tight space, he can do it all. A good combination of length, size, and speed. R.J. Sneed.
Eliezer Anderson, offensive tackle, Houston, Texas. Ailey Taylor.
All right, now taking a look at some of our front runners, the offensive line. Eliezer Anderson, 6'4", and a massive 295 pounds from Ailey Taylor High School. He was rated the nation's 97th best offensive tackle prospect in the 2017 signing class. He got 2016 All-District First Team honors. He has the versatility to play all 5 positions, along with academic excellence. Eliezer Anderson.
Khalil Keith, offensive tackle, Alpine, Alabama, Winterboro High School.
Here's an interesting prospect and a massive one. 6'5", 320 pounds, Khalil Keith, coming to Baylor from the state of Alabama. You look at his senior season at Winterboro High School in Alpine, Alabama, graded out at 92% with 34 bulldozers and 24 pancakes. An all-around athlete. He also was a star on the basketball team there as well. An all-conference performer, an all-district performer, I should say, in both sports. Coach Rule says he has a lot of untapped potential and is one of the largest athletes, as you can see in this signing class, at 6'5", 320 pounds, Khalil Keith.
Henry Kling III, offensive line, Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas.
Henry Kling III, 6'5", 305 pounds from Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas. He was rated in the top 100 offensive prospects in the 2017 recruiting class, and although he had an injury-shortened junior season, he returned to help his high school to the 9-3 mark in D2 area finals. His size isn't only helpful in just football, but he is a top 10 wrestler in the state as well. Henry Kling III.
Ryan Miller, center, Carroll Senior High School, Southlake, Carroll.
Ryan Miller, a high school teammate of Henry Kling III, both of them being from Southlake Carroll High School. Miller, an interesting player in that he only played on the offensive line for 1 year in high school, but that was enough to really turn heads. An all-district performer at center for Southlake Carroll. Started on the defensive line early in his career, but he's someone who has great leadership ability and intelligence. Coach Rule said he's someone that, you could see out there, and the coaching staff said you could see out there pretty soon for the Bears. Someone who adapted to the offensive line quickly and naturally. Ryan Miller.
Jason Moore, offensive line, Independence High School, Frisco, Texas.
Let's take a look at Jason Moore, offensive line, 6'3" and 295 pounds. He's an all-district lineman from Independence High School in Frisco, Texas. He was a top 100 recruit in the 2017 recruiting class by ESPN, and he paved the way for a powerful rushing attack that accounted for 3,000-plus yards at his high school. He's also named a 2016 second-team academic All-State for excellence in the classroom. Jason Moore.
Xavier Newman, offensive line, DeSoto High School, DeSoto, Texas.
You just have to say the name DeSoto High School in Texas, and people automatically think of excellence on the gridiron. And Xavier Newman, the starting center last year for DeSoto, a big part of that. On the state championship team, he helped pave the way for a team that rushed for 540 yards per game. He's an ESPN 300 prospect, one of the top recruits in the state of Texas, a member of the 2016 Subway Super Team from Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Coach Rule describes him as physical, tenacious, and powerful, the definition of a finisher. And, of course, he's a state champion, I should say, as well. So he's played in some really big games in high school. Xavier Newman. We heard from Baylor offensive line coach George DeLeon earlier today, and he said, you know, with the O-line being a position in need, some of these O-linemen we just saw in particular will be players will be seen play early on for the Bears, all part of a very talented offensive signing class for head coach Matt Rhule. This is the Baylor Signing Day special here on Fox Sports. We will take a break later on in the program. We will visit with head coach Matt Rhule, get his thoughts on this recruiting class, the first of his tenure here at Baylor University. Take a break and come back with more of the Signing Day special on Fox Sports. It's Signing Day 2017 at Baylor University. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll visit with head football coach Matt Rhule here on Fox Sports.
Sophie.
And welcome back to the Baylor Football Signing Day special live here on Fox Sports Net. We are coming to you live from the Beecham Athletic Nutrition Center on the banks of the Brazos River right across from McLean Stadium, where starting this fall you'll get to see this 2017 Baylor Lit signing class out on the field for your Bears. And as you can see, we are joined by head Baylor football coach Matt Rhule, getting to celebrate this first class here of his time here at Baylor University. And Coach, first off, just congratulations. What does it mean to you guys to have come here starting on December 6th when you were named head coach and put together a class so quickly that a lot of people are saying is a top 30, top 40 program nationally?
Well, I think it's a culmination of a lot of people's hard work. It's a culmination of the belief of some young people and their families that this is the right place for them. And I think it really signifies to the country just what, you know, Baylor University means and the opportunities that you can get here, and that we were able to, in such a short amount of time, convince people that this was the right place for them.
Now, people have only had 2 months to get a chance to get to know you, and so many haven't gotten that chance yet. Why don't you take a minute to tell us a little bit about your background and what you're bringing to the table here at Baylor football? Well,
I'm not very good at talking about myself, but obviously I came here from Temple University, where I was blessed to be the head coach for 4 years, and we were able to win a championship there, which had never really been done. But I've been blessed in my career to have a chance to coach in California, down in the South, in North Carolina. I've had a chance to coach in the NFL, to coach in college. I have a lovely wife, Julie, and 3 great kids, and we're excited to move down here and be a part of the Waco community, the Baylor community, and everyone's been wonderful here, and just reaffirms our decision that this was what was right for our family and us moving forward.
You mentioned your time at Temple, 2 10-win seasons there. And, you know, when we look at these signees today, you see their stars, how many stars they've received, you see their stats, but what really matters is development, and you all did that at Temple University. What excites you about taking a high school player, adjusting to the college game, and turning them into a college football player who has a chance to go on to the NFL, which you all did regularly at Temple?
Well, I think our whole program's built around development, and it's built around taking young men and making them be the best that they can be, and that's on the field, that's in the classroom, and that's who they are as people. And we were really proud of the kids that we coached at Temple that came in there. You know, we had 26 guys compete in the bowl game this year that already had their degree. We were 3rd in the country in terms of graduation success rate for guys that were in the top 25. So we developed those kids in a lot of different ways, and part of that was making them pro players. And when you see the kids that are here and the talent that's already on the Baylor roster, and the wonderful kids that are here, and then you see at the same time the great recruits that we were able to go get, and if we continue to have that same mindset of making them be the best that they can be every day, the sky's the limit for them personally, and then for us as a program.
Well, you talk about developing them as football players, but also as people. You were looking not just for good football players as part of this first class, but for good character guys as well. How did you sort of identify those, and what was the process like of getting to know some of these guys and recognizing why they fit as good Baylor Bears for this class?
Well, I think it starts with talking to their coaches and talking to all the great high school coaches here in the state of Texas and the kids from the other states that we met, and making sure that they had done the right thing on the team. They had done the right thing in the locker room. They had done the right thing in the classroom and in the community. And we found a resounding yes to all the kids that we signed. And then getting to know their families and getting to know their interests and who they really are. And what we don't want to do is sign entitled guys. We don't want to sign guys that come here. It's all about them. And what we found was there were a great group of kids that realized that this was about more than just themselves. It was about their family. It was about the other people here at Baylor. And we're excited to welcome them into our family.
Now, touching on your time in the NFL, obviously that's such a different ball game than the collegiate level. Do you think that experience in the NFL and seeing how different it is what makes you so good at preparing kids at this level for the NFL?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. I think, having been there, and I was only there for a short time, but, I have 3 coaches on my staff who left the NFL to come work, for me, two of whom, George DeLeon and Phil Snow at Temple, and Jeff Nixon came from the 49ers to come work for me. And it's like anything else, it's a lot easier to get somewhere when someone who's been there shows you the way. And it's not about how fast you are, how big you are. Having an extended NFL career is about your ability to be a program guy, to take notes, to pay attention, to learn football, to be great in the locker room and on the practice field. And I think the way we run our program prepares kids for success in the NFL and really success in the real world after football.
Talking to head Baylor football coach Matt Rule. And coach, this first signing class, 23 signees today, 4 early enrollees. You're an East Coast guy. You came here, you were hired here at Baylor on December 6th. You haven't had much time to get to know them. A few guys from New Jersey in the class, but the majority of them from Texas and the South. What kind of receptiveness did you find to guys kind of talking about Baylor, hearing your vision for the university and buying in?
Well, I think, as you go around the state, there's people all over this great state of Texas. As you walked into schools, as you walked into communities, as we met with some people, we met with their pastors who went to Baylor, or their kids went to Baylor, or their brother went to Baylor. And so they realized, hey, you know what? I understand the value of a Baylor education. I understand what this will do for the young person that I'm talking about, for them, life after football. And so it wasn't hard. I mean, to me, Baylor sells itself. And so it was our job just to extend opportunities to kids. It was our job just to get people on campus and let them come meet our team and see the people that are here on campus and see the opportunities they'll have here.
Now, you say it's so much more to an athlete than just their size or their strength. It's really an all-around approach. When recruiting, how did you look at the character of some of these guys?
Like I said, I think just talking to the people that know them, talking to the people that care about them, checking and seeing the things that they've done in the past, and really just spending a lot of time with them. And that's really kind of how we've done everything that we do, is spending time with people.
Talking to head coach Matt Rule, and it seems like versatility was something that you looked for, not just versatility on the football field, but as all-around athletes. You see a guy like Cole Maxwell. Interesting to see, he can throw a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, batted cleanup, yet also has a good defensive line prospects. You have track and field athletes, basketball athletes. Saw Khalil Keith, a big 6'5", 320-pound guy, also played basketball. Was that something you looked for when you were out recruiting?
Yeah, Bill Belichick says the more you can do, the more you can do. And I think great athletes, they can play multiple positions. They can play multiple sports. They find a way to get things done. And so that was important to us, to find kids that excel in every aspect of their life, and kids that love to compete and love to play.
Now, we've got 4 early enrollees that are on campus right now. Have you gotten the chance to get to know them in this short month that they've been here? What have you seen from them?
Yeah, I think all 4 kids are tremendous workers. They're really good kids. I'll also add in a new Solomon and James Lockhart, who transferred in. So, 6 new scholarship players to the program. And I think they've all fit in right away. They buy into our culture. They're competitive kids. They're kids who excelled on the football field and in the classroom in high school, and they've been a great fit.
Talking to head coach Matt Rule, and you look at the class overall, what stands out to you? You have all these individual athletes. Fans kind of look at the class, look at numbers, how many 3-star, 4-star players, where they ranked. But when you look at this class, what do you see?
Well, I think for me, it's never about seeing what they've done. It's about seeing what we think they can be. And so sometimes it's just taking a guy like Chidi Ogbenaya, who's 6'5", 255 pounds, who, played at a great program, Langham Creek down in Houston, coached by Coach Thompson. And they've introduced him to football, and they've developed him. And as Coach Thompson told me, his best days are ahead of him. So to me, it's a game not just of recruiting based upon what they've done, but also of projecting where we think that these guys will be. And to me, that's how you find pros. You find guys with a lot of untapped potential, and you have a vision and a plan for them, and then you develop them to that plan.
How big of a role does that strength and conditioning aspect play? We look at some of these guys and you see a guy like B.J. Thompson, 6'6", 220 pounds. A lot of these guys, when they come here, within these first few months, are going to look very different after a little time in Jeremy Scott's office, your strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. And excuse me, I'm feeling the pressure from signing day. I'm sweating. I think that's a huge part of it, is taking guys and building on that frame. We had a kid at Temple, Matt Ioannidis, came in at 240. He's now playing nose tackle for the Redskins at 310 pounds. And so it's a comprehensive approach of building them to be the size that they should be, making them faster, making them more flexible, making sure that we don't have major injuries where you can prevent them. I think, really at the end of the day, in a college football program, your strength coach spends the most amount of time with them. And so some of these kids, their future will be unlocked in the weight room and based upon what they can do with the great frame that they were blessed with.
Now, part of the great opportunity of coming in as a new head coach is you can kind of fill all of these positions with people that you know will really excel in them. How important has your staff been to bringing all of these great new recruits?
It's been vital, and it's not just the coaches that went on the road; it's the people when they come back here. And so, I think what's been great is to bring the people that came with me from Temple that sort of know how I do things, and a part of that is a lot of kids that played for me. And I think when families and recruits can come in here and sort of see sort of our family approach, and they see Francis Brown, who I recruited years ago to Western Carolina, when they see Evan Cooper, who played for me, Kevin Kroboth, all these kids that can sit there and say, hey, this is what my life's been like since I played for Coach Rule. When I played, I have Damir Shah, whose career was cut short because of concussions, and now he's here working for me, even here at Baylor. I mean, it's such a positive thing to see the Temple guys and the way we do things. And then you add in 3 great Texas high school football coaches, and Joey McGuire, Baylor alum Sean Bell, David Wetzel. We added in Matt Lubick from Oregon, one of the most exciting offenses in college football. Jeff Nixon from the NFL, 10 years in the NFL. I think kids have really just kind of connected with the people in our program, and families definitely connected, and parents connected with the people in our program.
One final quick question for you, Coach Rule. You've finally got this signing class in the books. You've been adjusting to life in Texas, adjusting to life at Baylor so much, so quickly. What do you do now? Can you take a deep breath at all? Kind of what's next for you?
Well, I mean, I think the main thing is our team that's here. We were out there this morning at 6 a.m. and we were coaching them already, and I'll go speak at some clinics this weekend and just continue to make inroads with all the great coaches here in the area, but starting Monday, and continuing Monday, just making sure that we're building this team and building this culture and building this program to be the best that we can be.
Coach Matt Rule, 2 months in, a top 40 class in the nation. Congratulations. Sikkim Squad 17 is here. Looking forward to seeing him out there. That is head Baylor football coach Matt Rule here on the Baylor Football Signing Day Special, a top 40 class that he and his staff have brought in. We'll come back to wrap things up after this here on Fox Sports.
Welcome back to the Baylor Signing Day Special. I'm Jacqueline Keller.
And I'm Derek Smith, and it's been fun over the last hour here to kind of meet some of these new athletes that are coming in here at Baylor. We also got to visit with head coach Matt Rule a moment ago, and wow, what a whirlwind it's been for him and his staff. Again, he was named head coach here at Baylor on December the 6th. He had less than 2 months, he and his staff, to put this team together, and this incoming signing class has been ranked top 30, top 40 by a number of the outlets that you look at as far as recruiting services online. Obviously, time will tell. The numbers don't tell the full story right now, but he's obviously brought in a number of talented athletes. It's going to be a lot of fun to see these guys come in and develop.
Oh, absolutely. And talking to him, he's just such a great guy. I love seeing the character that he's going to be bringing to a program, just the rich staff that he has, and the equally rich group of recruits that he's bringing in as well. Excited to meet them next fall.
Yeah, 4 early enrollees and 23 signees today. Again, it all adds up to about a top 40, top 30 class here at Baylor University. It's a new era here for Baylor football. The head coach Matt Rule era. He's put together a great staff, a great team. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how these young guys gel in the year ahead with some of the returning players. And judging by what we've seen so far, Matt Rule, a great relationship builder. His coaching staff, we got to talk to some of them today earlier. You can see why they're able to go into these recruits' homes and sell Baylor so well. We heard some of the players say they're honest, they're truthful with you, and that they trust these guys. They are building a new era of quality football and character out on the field. We're looking forward to seeing Sikkim Squad 17. This has been the Baylor Football Signing Day Special, Signing Day 2017, here on Fox Sports.